presidential.
Sue, what's it like being back, and how are you feeling about the honor today?
It's great being back. It's funny. I actually don't think I've been back for a little bit. Maybe last year, but it's been a while where I feel like for a period of time now, it's coming back all the time. So it's always great to come back. Always great to see like all the new buildings. When did this go up? And of course today with my jersey being retired, super excited. Really glad that my friends and family are here, and of course sharing it with everybody at UConn.
Sue, with your time with UConn, what was your most memorable moment?
Oh, jeez. My most memorable moment. It's, I'm sure you've heard this before. Of course, I could sit here and talk about, the times that we won championships or, some of the bigger victories. And yes, those are very memorable, but it really is more about, like the moments in the locker room or, the dumb stuff we did in our dorm room, the late nights we maybe did or didn't have. That's really where a lot of my core memories are when I think about my time here, when I think about UConn. But more than anything, it's really a place where I grew up, a place where a lot of like who I am as a person and as a player, that foundation was built. And so a lot of the memories are wrapped up in that too.
So I'm sure you've been asked many times, but how did you choose number 10, or how did you get
That
associated?
number? Yeah, my sister's 5 years older. Her name's Jen. She'll be here today, and we're both born in October. But the 5-year older part is she was doing all the sports before me, so I was really just following her. And she chose number 10 because she was born in October, and that's it. And it just stuck.
Did you ever get any flack on people where you weren't able to get it? Or
Like, did I ever have to pay anybody? No, I never had to pay anybody. There were a couple times where, like I think in middle school, the number 10 jersey was too small. I think I joined there was like an AAU team I joined where somebody had it and I had to like wait it out. And then the only other time I didn't get it was Tamika Catchings, who's, I think 1 year ahead of me. She technically joined the national team before me, and she was just given number 10. And so when I got there, I was like, so how does this work? But it was already locked in. So that's why I wore 6 for USA basketball. That's why I wore 6.
So,
And that was just given. There wasn't like a choice. They like threw it at me.
At what point were you able to be old enough or aware of sports enough where you started to associate names with numbers like that?
Ooh, good question.
Were you like a cheater person?
No, Jeter's I think like my age-ish. So it's not, that one wouldn't hit. I think it would be more like Larry Bird wore 33. Obviously Michael Jordan. Anybody my age, it's going to be Michael Jordan in 23. So yeah, it slowly gets put on your radar, and then for me in number 10, like I wanted that to be like synonymous. I wanted that to be a part of like my basketball identity, that number.
Yeah. Does it give you more satisfaction to see the jersey retired, or maybe to see young players wear 10 as an homage to you?
Yeah, both. Yeah, I think both can be true and both are true. It's really such an honor. I mean, you look at all the names above me, you look at all the plaques, the Player of the Years, All-Americans, obviously the other banners with the championships, like so much history. And so to be, currently, we obviously know in the next like 3, 4, 5 to 10 years is going to change. But right now, I'll just be the third. And so to be, with Rebecca, with Swin, being the third player to have their jersey retired in the Hall of Fame, I mean, it's really special. It's, the further you get away from a career, I feel like the more you really can sit in it and realize how special and how much you achieved. And at the very same time, knowing that I was part of a generation that paved the way for younger players is really special. So anytime, I mean, sometimes I'm like, is that mine or is it Nika Mule's? But generally speaking, when I see the number 10, I'm happy regardless.
Do you ever reflect on what this has become? Your class came in, they had won the national championship, and they're looking to you to change that. But since you started there, this thing has just totally taken off.
Yeah, the only time I really noticed it is when, I'm out in the wild and people are like, oh, like, you went to UConn, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I went to UConn. They're like, oh, you guys win all the time. And I don't correct them in the moment, but I was like, well, actually, when I got there. So yeah, I do have an awareness. I think my class, the 4 years that I played here, and then you move to like Diana's class, obviously the success they brought. There is an awareness of the program had definitely put itself on the map with the 95 championship, was still trying to build, right? Like, we weren't a dynasty yet. We weren't, fielding questions. I can only imagine players today, the questions they have to field with dynasty talk and legacy talk. Nobody was asking us that stuff. Nobody was asking me what I wanted my UConn legacy to be. That wasn't a thing, right? And then you fast forward, I'm really bad at math, but you fast forward to Stewie's freshman year, and she's like, oh, we're gonna win 4 in a row. And that became like the new bar. So I feel like with any program that has success, like, each generation kind of has to do their part. And when we came along, I think it was our part to continue to build on top of what Rebecca Lobo, Jen Rosati, Jamel Elliott, Carla Brugge, so on and so forth, what they started. And so we were just kind of adding to that, and then obviously, all the players since have run with it.
You've accomplished so much in your life, but do you ever reflect, do you miss those days?
College days?
Yeah.
Sometimes, I think there's something nice about, well, I guess with NIL they're paying taxes now, but there's something nice about, like, no responsibility. You think going to class is, you're like, oh, I have to get up at 9? How dare they? So there is something nice about, remembering days where you just gotta, you went to class, but you're just with your friends playing basketball. And I think that happens more when, like last year, when we all were here to celebrate, how many years was it? 40, I think. We were here to celebrate the 40th anniversary. Like, getting us all together like that, that's when you miss it, right? When you're reminiscing, that's when it's fun. But then, it's nice being an adult too.
So we talked yesterday about recruiting. We've been working on that. What were your first impressions of Gino, TV, and just the program itself?
Yeah, gosh, well, when Jen and Jamel, I think, were in their senior year, so like 96, the New York Times did like a follow kind of thing with them, maybe like a diary of sorts, and my dad would just like randomly be like, you should read this from time to time. And so, like, I kind of understood. Obviously, I knew they won in 95. The Olympics had then happened. And so I'm reading these articles, I kind of understood like what the UConn program was, what they were doing, what they were building. And then I actually came up here for an unofficial visit with my high school coach or team or something like that. We saw a game, I saw, Gamble Pavilion filled, everybody going nuts, and I was like, well, this is kind of cool. And I remember thinking to myself, which is just so kind of silly, I just remember thinking to myself, like, well, if I went here, I could probably go home on weekends to do my laundry, so that's a plus. Like, but obviously, Coach Auriemma, who he is now, it's not that much different. He is extremely confident, charismatic, he can be intimidating, especially for a teenager, and so I just remember like sitting in his office listening to him like talk about who knows what, and I was just like, what? What's going on right now? And then you fast forward and you get to the whole recruiting process, but those are some early memories, and they're not much different from who he is now, like I said.
Would there be anything nowadays that would keep you from, if you were a teenage recruit now, from coming here?
No, I think there's something really wonderful about how, not just Coach Auriemma, of course, like Chris Daly, I mean, even Tanya and Jamel, they were my coaches as well. So there's something really wonderful about, not just what they've built and in terms of the winning, like, yeah, that's wonderful, it's why you're doing it, but they've really built something where, when players come here, it's because something is speaking to them, something's connecting for them. For me, it was being at a place where I knew I was going to get challenged. I don't know if I like consciously knew this. I think I was just, it just like pulled me in and like it was like literal like attraction in that, I came here, I was going to get challenged and pushed to my limits, which I needed. I needed that in those formative years. And so I think the same would be true now. Can we talk about like, man, they have a lot more pressure than we did, and like NIL and social media and all the things? Yeah, that would definitely be at play. But I think at the core, that's always what has made this program go, is that the coaches and the program, like, they are who they are. And if that's like for you, it's a natural fit, and that's how it was for me.
How many schools did you have offers from when you came here?
I mean, like a lot.
Like a lot.
Yeah, like all of them.
What did you
Except Tennessee.
What did you
that one I
narrow
didn't
it
get
to? Tennessee didn't offer you?
No, they had just signed some point guards.
Wow.
So I got my
All right.
point guard got skipped in my year. Yeah, so except Tennessee, I pretty much talked to everybody very quickly. I went to Christ the King, and we had so many great players, Shamika Holtzclaw being one. So my coaches were like, listen, you want to get this down to 5, like pretty quick. So I did that, and then even quicker, I got down to 3. So I only visited Connecticut, Stanford, and Vanderbilt. Duke and Notre Dame were like kind of like that 4th and 5th, but I didn't take visits.
Sue, you played your last game in the W in 2022, and now fast forward to 2025, you're a Hall of Famer, you have a statue in Seattle, and now your jersey's going to be in the Raptors at UConn. What does this year kind of represent for you?
It's been a lot. It's been amazing. I think my favorite part and what it represents is, yes, a lot of this has been about me. If you know my personality, I'm like kind of getting used to it. It's not necessarily like the most comfortable place for me. But yeah, while having your jersey in the Raptors or being in the Hall of Fame or like you said, the statue, I mean, these are things that last forever. You can never take them away. And so they're like prized possessions in a sense. But really what's been great about this year is it's been in this excuse to get all my family, all my friends, all my former teammates, former coaches, you name it, anyone who has touched my life in any way, shape, or form, it's been bringing them together. You know, in some capacity, all of those types of people have been at all of these events, and so to get to share it, I already mentioned like reminiscing. That's really what all of these moments have represented, what they meant.
Wonderful.
You also have a book right in the back of the bird at the buzzer,
Yeah.
Which is the prolific Big East moment. And I'm curious if that for you was the biggest Big East moment you had, and also kind of what it was like competing in the Big East.
Yeah, I know. R.I.P. It's sad. I cried during that 30 for 30, and it was like even the Big East before I was in it. Yeah, I mean that's probably the best, my biggest moment, especially in the Big East, but probably even in UConn, and that goes with the national championships because you know it's very rare at Connecticut you're in those types of scenarios. That's just I don't know that I was in that many late game scenarios. So to hit a game winner at the buzzer for a championship wearing a UConn jersey, like not many players can say that, like I said, just because we're not in that position. So it's definitely special. I remember I've like so many memories, vivid memories from that weekend, that particular day, that game, that moment. So that one goes down. And yeah, the Big East, man, it was really fun. It was a fun league to play in. And I know there was a period of time where you could, like when I was in school, when you could maybe argue that the SEC, you know, had more talented teams, like overall. But then you look back and it was like between us, Notre Dame, and Rutgers, my 4 years, those teams were always in the Final Fours. So we might have been a little on the top heavy side, but then you zoom out a little bit more and it's like Syracuse was making the tournament. I mean, there was a bunch of Big East teams that were in the mix. We were getting like 3, 4, 5, 6 teams at times. So I think for a while we were kind of holding it down in terms of what Big East basketball could be. And obviously it's back, but it's a little different.
So,
Not in a bad way, just different.
so I know that this came up a while back with the Giants, but if someone, a young player, really emulated you, admired you, ever asked you,
Yeah.
can I wear 10 as a tribute to you? Would you ever consider saying this?
Oh, now that it's retired?
I mean, Lawrence Taylor told the rookie,
Get lost, yeah. Man, good question. I haven't gotten that. Can I just enjoy today? Like, can I get one day? No, I'm joking. I'm sure I'd consider it. I have no idea.
if
No,
it's
you're
a
already planting seeds.
So
This
there's
is off the table.
a certain kind of player, a certain
Yeah. I haven't thought about it. Yeah.
Most of this current UConn team wasn't old enough to see you play when you were here. Just what is it like for you interacting with this generation of players? What kind of is the connection like nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, thank you for pointing that out. Really appreciate that. They'll get to see some grainy footage today when they show all my highlights. Yeah, it is kind of trippy. It happens so fast. So I think there's like one aspect of when you connect with younger players, you want to remind them of that. Like this happens fast. Like enjoy it. Like don't let days slip by because it really goes fast. But then I think specific to UConn players and the beauty of coming here is like you're just a part of something special whether you play together or not. And that connection, you know, like I don't know, you know, let me think how I want to. It's like players today, I may not know them that well, but if I ever, you know, saw them on the street, it would be instant, like come with me, I got you. Because that's how the older players were when I were here, when I was here. And so that's really what makes all of it special. So you don't have to like watch each other play to have that connection.
kind of in a time period of explosive growth in the
Yeah.
women's game in general. You've got star power at the college level, star power at the WNBA level, expansion at the WNBA level as well. Do you ever think about, like, wow, when I was here, who would have known that this would be kind of the roots to the tree?
Yeah, no, you don't really think that when you're going through it. You're kind of just going through it. And as I was saying before, the further I get away, the more I'm able to look back and kind of have a better understanding of the impact. Not just of myself, not just of my class or this school, but that generation of women's basketball players. And to see where everything is now, I mean, to be honest, it really is surreal because, like, we all knew, we all believe, honestly, you guys all knew, you believe, but we didn't know when. And in a sense, you could argue it happened faster than any of us would have thought. It was definitely getting there and going in that direction, right? The trajectory was finally kind of like pointed up, but it happened so fast. And so in that sense, I'm just really thankful I can still be a part of it, right? Even though I'm on the other side, I'm not on the floor, I'm doing other things, I can still be a part of it. So that I actually take a lot of pride in.
Anything else? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Plan on exiting through the front of the building.